And welcome in everybody as we got another fantastic HCK Beagles race here tonight on a wonderful Tuesday evening here at iRacing Super Speedway. As always, we've got a whole bunch of sponsors we got to thank and a national anthem to get to. But first, let's take a moment to send our T's and P's, thoughts and prayers down there to some of y'all down there in Florida as Hurricane Ian's looking like it's going to be bearing down on those guys for quite some time. So hope y'all stay safe down there. Don't be weather scared. Be weather prepared. There is a live YouTube channel right now over at Ryan Hall Y'all. He does some fantastic meteorological, all that kind of work, and he's got some storm chasers down there in Florida helping him out. So if you're ever interested in seeing some live data, go ahead and go check out that channel. But on that note, let's go ahead and get things started here tonight.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And welcome back. As always, like I said, these races are brought to you by some great sponsors like Davidson Builders. Go ahead and give them a call for all your remodeling needs in that northern New Jersey area, as they do some great work up there, as well as tonight's great sponsor, tucked away there at the Wiley Hotel. We got Mrs.P's. If you're down there in Georgia, go ahead and go check them on out. Chef Boyardee makes some good on food down in there, as well as AdminBoxx, the premier button box for race admins to help control the shenanigans that goes on here in iRacing. So thank you guys for all jumping on board, and we got a couple more sponsors to talk about here coming up in a little bit. But either way, I am Alan Brown, and I am just sitting here with a couple of my good friends. We got Mr. Alan English up here in the booth with me. Mr. English, we're back here at iRacing Super Speedway, the high banked, high speed, high everything here in this virtual racing world.
Highly deadly too. That's why they never really built this place. But still looking forward to it. Big 3-mile track, like you said. The banking's really high. The transitions between the straightaways and the turns that's going to be your big danger area, especially if traffic gets really tight, which I'm sure we'll see a lot of 3-wide action and probably some 4-wide action, maybe even a little bit more than that. But it's going to be a long race. Hopefully these guys stick with their teammates, stick with their strategy, and they should be just fine as long as they can dodge the big one. And we're probably going to have several of those.
And speaking of high, we got Mr. Adam Turner down there on pit road, coming out of surgery here just for us. Adam, back here, iRacing Super Speedway. We've already had a little bit of some beef going on between some teams and whatnot, but here at a track like this, man, it can really rear its head.
Yeah, whatever I say tonight was I was on drugs and maybe a beer or two, so you can't hold it against me. It might get a little wild. I can't wait to see. Hopefully there'll be a fight. 2 fast repairs, 75% fuel, -5 on power, 4 sets of tires, 24x, and incident points, and you're DQ'd, man. 72 degrees in this crazy iRacing super speedway, and death and mayhem shall ensue.
That it shall. As we take a look at tonight's race info, clear skies here in the fake world of Massachusetts, as these guys have this crazy 3-mile long track where restrictor plates don't come into play, so 230 miles an hour is most definitely a possibility here tonight. Bringing us down tonight's key to the race, and man, it's just got to follow that run, whether that's running through the corner and maybe up the track a little bit, hitting those bumps and in the going in and out of these turns, or even just trying to get down pit road, man. It's gonna be one of those ones you got to keep a loose grip on that steering wheel, otherwise that thing's gonna buck you around.
Yeah, and you know, we let's talk about the elephant in the room here is netcode. Okay, this track we see a lot of netcode stuff here, especially with these trucks. So guys are going to be pretty careful to try to stay away from each other as much as they can tonight. But I have a feeling we're going to see the netcode monster strike at least once or twice tonight.
The old netcode monster, yeah. These trucks tend to have that issue. Netcode is an iRacing software problem, but iRacing's still the best simulator out there for NASCAR stuff, so we can't knock them too bad. We're just gonna have to deal with it and kind of act like it was like an engine being blown or something. That's kind of how you gotta look at it. But I mean, you're going this fast at a track like this. Turns 2 and 4 are going to be wicked as usual here. With I don't know how many cars we got, like 80. This ought to be amazing.
33 register, it looks like, which that is a huge field, and they're going to be probably pretty quick. They're going to be probably 11 rows of 3. Guys like to go 3 wide early.
Oh yeah, why not?
That they do, as these drivers make their way on out onto the racetrack here right now, under qualifying. It's a 10-minute qual, so these guys got started just a little bit early, which is a-okay. It is a longer track, and solo qualifying does take a good chunk of time out of that, so we still have a few people out there waiting to take some times. We got Derek, Mr. Bogus Welch out there trying to put in a good lap time right now and join the high ranks up there on top of the leaderboard. We do have a big happy birthday message out there to the 84 of Josh Bittner, celebrating his birthday. I think he's finally turning 10 or something like that. No, he's one of the young guys out here driving around. We also got Hunter. 25? No, like I said, he's about 10. As we see Hunter Smith putting in some qualifying laps right now.
Yeah, and you know, qualifying here, I never really qualified these big giant super speedway tracks because it really is not going to matter that much when you think about it. In the grand scheme of things, you're going to race, what is this, 210 miles? So you got plenty of time to work your way up to the front. The biggest thing is just going to be staying out of trouble out here.
That indeed, as Kevin Winker qualifies right now in 6th, and Derek Welch down there in 10th. Hunter Smith throwing in a lap for 19th right now, but he's still got another go around to try to get a lap in here. Looks like a few people not qualifying. They kind of understand your sentiment there, Mr. English. Starting in the back doesn't sound too bad right now.
Yep, and if you know, as long as they stay drafting with somebody, they'll be okay. You don't want to get out there by yourself, though. That's for sure. That'll be disastrous for your track position.
You know, I'm kind of like you here, English. I never would qualify. I just ride it out in the back, and hopefully something good happens. chump to champ, champ to chump. That's how this works at a track like this.
As Hunter Smith vaults his way up that leaderboard, up there, just as qualifying ends. So here we go. Everybody getting all stacked up, racked up, and ready to rumble down there on pit road, or right next to pit road, I should say, as we get ready to go racing. Let's go ahead and tell everybody where their favorite driver is starting here tonight, with Dustin really finally picking up a pole position here tonight, knocking that run from Joshua Moore. Man, he was up there winning pole position quite a bit here last few weeks, but Dustin really takes that spot. He's going to have one of the Staten boys, the 88 of Zach Staten, sitting on his outside, starting in second. 64 Kale Turbeville is going to be getting a good start position here tonight, going to be starting in third, with the 12 of Austin Johnson up there in fourth. 15 of the other Staten brother, Cody Staten, going to be starting here in fifth, with teammate the 42 Kevin Winker in sixth on his outside. 13 Earl Evans going to be starting inside this top 10 here tonight in seventh, with the 96 of Josh Freed in eighth. The 20 of Zach Dillon going to be starting in ninth, with the 3 of the very hot Hunter Smith having some good results the last few weeks. Going to be restarting here in 10th.
Row number 6 is going to be the number 1 of Derek Welch on the inside, and the 6 of Paul Durkee to his outside. Row number 7 is going to be the 747 machine of Albert Anderson. Not sure about the number change there. And the 23 of Mark Collins. Row number 8 is going to be the 84 of Josh Bittner, the birthday boy, and the 86 of Jake Bunjo. Row number 9 is going to be Eric Stoy in the 4 and Michael Hicks in the 76. And rounding out your top 20, Dusty Smith and Kenneth Stocks.
All right. Sitting there in 21st position, J.A. Burton in 26th truck. 751, Michael Adamson, 22nd. 51, Joshua Moore will start 23rd. The number 30 truck, Keith Miller, will start 24th. 75, Brian Skidmore, will start 25th. 97, Rodney Griffin, 26th. The 00 Joe Bennett, starting 27th. 45, Michael Reynolds will be sitting there in 28th. 69, a Gregory Turner, 29th. 24, Andrew Hansley the 4th, will be 30th. Looks like Tom Barish in the 55 truck will be 30th, 31st. And then rounding it out will be the shove, number 66, Matthew Jones.
Race controller tonight will be Michael Newton. Thank you so much, Mike, for stepping up here to help these guys do some race controlling out there.
Yeah, that
Make some tough decisions now and then.
you ain't kidding, man. As these guys go ahead and pace around behind this pace car here tonight. We do. Let me see which channel he in, because he may not be over. I think he's over here somewhere. Looking for our pole sitter right now. Yep. All right, there he is. So let's go ahead and let's talk to Mr. Dustin Really, tonight's pole award winner. Let me make sure everything is all up and running. There we go. All right. So Dustin Really coming on down into the booth as the AdminBoxx pole award winner here tonight. Got a big, hungry group of trucks here behind you, Dustin, but picking up that top spot right now is the goal, just to try to stay in front of it all?
Gold is, just have a little luck. Maybe somebody will work with me,
Watch out for them teammates that are going to find each other right there up behind you there before too long. But good luck out there tonight. Watch them transitions, man, and watch out for that net code. We've seen it happen here a lot with the trucks here at iRacing Super Speedway.
Yeah, it's my favorite track, so I just need some luck. Somebody work with me.
Awesome, man. Well, good luck to you here tonight, and who knows, maybe we'll be talking to you here at the end of this one.
All right. Thanks, guys.
This truck is real shiny and green. I don't know about those green trucks. We've seen those have problems.
Bad luck, ain't it?
I'm not saying anything.
Earl Evans got that hurricane paint tonight,
Oh,
that 13 machine.
He's got the AAA paint on the side somewhere.
Yeah.
Guess he's celebrating a hurricane. I've been involved in a few hurricanes. You know, it's always like how much beer can you get? You know, everybody's getting water.
Oh, and
they're loading up cases.
pro tip, if you fill up your washing machine with ice, you can keep a bunch of beer in there cold for days. Just
That
a
is
little
a
tip
nice-
for you guys.
Yeah, that's a smart move, yeah. Let everybody know all the tricks.
All the tricks of the trade as we get ready to go. Green flag racing here. Fields driving around in turns 3 and 4. Getting ready to start this 70 lap battle here in just a moment. That nondescript iRacing pace car about ready to peel off down into pit road, and even he has a bit of an issue on that transition, so I wonder how well these guys are going to do. As here they come for the first time here tonight, down and across the line, getting things all revved up. Green flag racing here at this HCK Beagles Racing League race from iRacing Super Speedway. Bottom line led by Dustin. Really looks like it's got a really good restart here, able to trundle on down into turns 1 and 2 with a pretty sizable run. He's got some good help there with Cale Turbeville right behind him, and then you got Cody Staten sitting right there with Zach Staten. Looks like the Staten brothers are already trying to join up, but he's going to be left out in the middle. Oh, he finds a spot down low to mosey on down. The 88 still staying on out there to maybe try to guide that second line on around. We do have someone coming up on that far outside line. That's the 12 of Austin Johnson on a solo mission way out wide here. 3 wide racing on lap number 1.
Yeah, he was trying to entice a couple people to come up there with him. No takers just yet, but it's early yet. Maybe they're looking to click off a few laps first before they start trying to get too crazy out there.
Oh, let's get crazy now. I mean, crazy like a hurricane. Just like Earl Evans' truck. Quite the paint scheme he's got out there tonight.
As side by side they roll down out of turn number 2, down the long back straightaway here. And still too wide, but that second line really coming up with a pretty big run. This 88 is clear. He's going to try to maybe drop down low. No, that door just got shut by Dustin really here. So that bottom line getting a pretty good run in the middle of those corners, and the 88 not able to drop on down.
A couple of your teammates back here, Numb Thumbs Gaming machine, the number 1 of Welch, and the number 23 NTG trucking machine of Mark Collins. They really, one of them's in each line now, and now they're kind of getting separated as that lower line's got a little bit more run.
Well, it's interesting so far. We haven't seen a bunch of movement. Gregory Turner's up 5, but they're not too aggressive right now. I guess we'll see a little bit of patience tonight. I don't know.
Surprise. We usually have some risk takers real quick, but they must have had a talking to. So
Why?
hey, y'all take it easy.
Why are they getting a talking to?
Oh, I don't know. I'm saying maybe they did. I don't know.
Let's have a fight. Let's get going.
Sweet, take a ride here on the roof of the 21 of Dusty Smith as these guys continue to stay 2 wide. There's a little bit of 3 wide going on in front of them, but it's more like a truck that's been kind of left out in the cold here. As oh, here we go. We got someone trying to maybe split up the middle here. No, he jumps right back up into line. So this has just been a little game of cat and mouse. Who's gonna follow who to make it 3 wide, and who's just maybe making a few moves by themselves just to maybe drift back to some teammates, get some working partners together. As everyone's being pretty calm as Zach Staten jumps out in front of that 37 machine of Really and able to drop on down right in front of him.
I already got some folks over there on the YouTube chat. Thank y'all so much for showing up tonight. Earl Evans looking for some Florida man jokes tonight. Derek Welch says it's bogus time as he's got his bogus bearded self out there trying to make things happen with his team. Rebecca Smith's here, saying let's go. Andrew Hansley, pulling for teammates. Joe Bennett, pulling for Double O Joe out there. Yeah, man. Peyton McGowan out there pulling for the birthday boy in the 84.
Track Dogs Racing himself, number 84. Happy birthday. He's won some Florida Man. Well, that's not a joke, English. That's real life.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll get to that hopefully at some point.
Yeah, get yourself some HCK Beagles Racing League merchandise over there at trackdogsracing.com. You can get sweaters and shirts and mugs and anything HCK Beagles related. They got a few other products over there as well. Go check them out.
Side by side they work. You got Team America controlling both lines here. You got that high side trying to catch back on up to that low line here, being led by that 15 of Cody Staten, trying to catch up to brother 88 Zach Staten. He's got some help from the 42 Kevin Winker sitting right there behind him. Those guys have Mount Rushmore on their cars here tonight, as they've got still got that hungry pack of cars sitting right there behind them. You got the 6 of Paul Durkee trying to make up some moves here. You got the 4 of Eric Stoy. We know not one to be fearful of going on out to that outside on his lonesome.
Albert Anderson said, "I'm out." He jumped down below that yellow line. He's going to move to the back here. He didn't like what he was seeing up there.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He'll be fine if he can stay in the draft, right, Brown?
Yeah, you're right on that one. He obviously does not want that 747 truck to turn into a real-life 747 and go flying halfway across the country here.
Seen it happen here, man. We've seen some crazy wrecks here at iRacing Speedway. Just the pure speed that these guys are getting. They're doing IndyCar speeds in a vehicle shaped like a pickup truck. I mean, it's, very aerodynamically friendly. We got Chachi out there on YouTube. Thanks for joining us, Chachi. And Officer Love saying hi. Thanks for joining us once again, Officer Love.
Officer
Yellow's
Love.
out. Uh-oh.
What happened there?
You got a truck spinning going into turn 3, it looked like.
Oh, Tom Barish in that 55 machine having a little bit of an issue. Let's go ahead and take a look back and kind of see what happened. He was up there on that high side, I think, trying to drift back with Double O Joe. I think he might have just... Oh, the bump got him. He got down into the 69 a little bit. Got a little loose up into that outside wall. Got rear end tagged as he was trying to save it. And that causes the 55 machine to go for a wild ride. One solo car involved in this incident here. Everybody else able to drive away pretty much unscathed.
I think it was netcode, guys. It looked like he come down and pushed the netcode pushed him up the track, and then looks like the 28 just got in the back of him a little bit.
Yahtzee.
Yeah, I mean, take a look at it, Brown, see what you think, but it looks like netcode for me.
Yeah, there was a little bit there. I think he was gonna probably make a little contact with the 69 anyway, but yeah, there was a little bit of some netcode going on, so hopefully that's the last we'll see of it. I highly doubt it. However, these guys are now going to pace around here for just a little bit and cool everything on down. I'm sure these guys are probably going to come into the pits, take some tires, take some fuel, as they don't know the next time that they will. And you really don't want to be making green flag pit stops here, as this is not the most friendly transition onto an apron.
Oh, it's dangerous coming down there at about, I don't know what you're going in the corner, 205 or whatever, and coming down, it's difficult. So yeah, every caution, you should be coming down at least getting fuel, I would think, in my opinion. Tires here aren't that important, especially at 72 degrees on a track. We shouldn't need too many changes of tires.
Everybody rolling into their pit stall here, and And kind of like I assumed, everybody coming on down. Great pit stop there for the Staten boys, followed by Cale Turbeville, and then Dustin Really. Josh Freed jumps up a couple spots. Got Kevin Winker jumping up a few as well, as these guys hit their boxes, make their stops, makes these AI pit crews do their jobs for once as they get ready to go back out there and get back to green flag racing.
Well, I mean, so far, it's been super clean. Nothing crazy aggressive. That incident there, I guess there was a little bit of 3 wide and net code, but nothing out of the ordinary here. We hadn't seen wildness. I'm pretty sure we're in for some wildness when we get closer to the end of this thing.
Oh, that is for certain, as we're only 1/7 of the way through this race right now. Gotta be going back green flag racing on lap number 12. Like we said, we got the Staten boys up in front. Where is... Gotta look through some names here. One of their other teammates. I know that 42 of Winker's up there as well, but they're waiting... Really need that 51 of Joshua Moore, who didn't qualify here tonight. Which is actually a big surprise, as he's one of those guys that, man, he qualifies really well. I mean, how many weeks in a row did he take that pole position?
Well, I guess he wanted to make it more challenging for himself, right? I think those guys like to control the front of the race and the back of the race. Sometimes it seems that way. They're kind of everywhere.
That indeed. And just a reminder to all our fans, tonight is the last night to be eligible into the drawing that we will hold at the end of this race tonight, as it is the end of the month. And you could win yourself some free HCK Beagles Racing Gear swag, all because of your support that you've been bringing to this league here this season. So be on the lookout for that, as right at the end of this race, that's when we will be doing that drawing.
Oh man, I want one of them shirts. That's cool. It'll be a cool memento to have. Say you won something here watching some fun iRacing with us, so pretty cool that they're doing that. I got a quick Florida man since we've got a second here. Florida man loses his bumper in the front yard, then he gets arrested for fentanyl. What in the world is happening down there? This is right before a hurricane.
That's a tame one.
Yeah, I know. I'm start low and I'll crescendo later. I'm hoping. Or I may just crash and burn.
Yeah, got Chachi out there saying he's not going to make the race tomorrow night either, but he should be back next Tuesday or Wednesday. He's been dealing with some computer issues. We can't wait to have you back, Jonathan, as well as Tower Operator saying good evening, everybody. Hey, good evening, sir. As we get ready to jump back into green flag racing here from iRacing Super Speedway. Another solid start from those Staten boys, as they're going to be side by side down this long front straightaway. Cale Turbeville's going to duck down low into that bottom line, trying to gain a little bit of track position here, as the run right now is with that bottom line. Getting a big surge from that 37 is the 88.
Sorry, guys, had some stuff going on here.
Well, I mean, it couldn't be worse.
I'm back.
It'd be worse than my dog trying to run out of the break down the fence yesterday. It happens.
It has to do with my dog. He's
Oh, man.
gotta take him in. But back too wide again.
And it looks like the back of the field may be a little bit more strung out this go around, as you can see people slicing and dicing, making their moves, trying to get around, and which line is going to have the big run. Well, right now it's that outside line being led by that 15, as the 15, 42, and 88 all jump up together here up at the front. Team America leading this top of the leaderboard right now. You still got Dustin Really, Turbeville, and Smith up there as well. Paul Durkee's having a good battle with the 96 of Josh Freed and Zach Dillon right now. That Goat Island Brewing Company hanging around out there?
Oh, I could go for some of that right now. Goat Island beer.
Man,
Nothing too wild going on though.
no, everyone being pretty tame here, which is a kind of a good thing as you've been watching these cars here for the last couple seasons. Man, these transitions in and out of these turns, they just absolutely throw these trucks for a wild ride, and of course going 230 miles an hour. Man, it is an unnerving feeling.
Yeah, especially when you're going on that transition into the corner and truck just slides to the right. You know, it's just moves up the track on you.
Yeah,
You gotta be ready for that.
and it's not the same every corner because you got these different pieces of air pushing on you, and maybe even the wear on your tires. Sometimes they can just get out from underneath you on those transitions.
So we take a look from the 69 of Little Rimmer. Gregory Turner sitting back here, leaving a good amount of cushion here, giving him time to react to something that goes on in front of him. But really, it's not too much going around. Yeah, you see people maybe changing the lanes here and there, but other than that, everybody pretty much keeping it a pretty wide, too wide. Really, no one using any side draft or anything like that right now either. As I think they understand that, 24 incident points as your DQ limit here tonight, that's really not a lot. Those can add up in, only a couple of cautions.
Chachi's saying, I'm not gonna lie, I'm happy I'm not racing right here, right now. Just a crazy track. Everybody out there being pretty careful here so far, though. Staying out of range of the net code.
There's some blinking going on up front, I think. Just listening to what these guys have to say out there. Been pretty quiet on the radio.
Oh, big run coming on the outside. Oh, the 96 tried to follow the 37 on down. Josh Freed trying to join the 37 of Dustin, really just not able to. The gap wasn't quite big enough, so he had to sit out there and wait for a second. But here comes the 42 making a move to the outside lane, saying, hey, I'll get you back up there, but I got a feeling he might maybe leave him kind of out to dry here.
Man. It seems in the middle of the pack, those transitions are pushing those guys up the track a little bit further. Look how close the bumper of the 42 of Kevin Winker, how close he's... Who is that right behind him? Just on top of him.
And that's that 96 of Josh Freed. And I mean, in the corners, you don't want to be that close, but here on these straightaways, man, any extra speed that you can get, I mean, we're seeing people top out at 240 miles an hour, not just 230, but 240. Man, these guys are going as fast as a jetliner here tonight as they find themselves clear down low. Both Freed and Winker move on down in front of Dustin. Really, he's now going to pop up to that outside. Lazy Susan now in full effect.
Yeah, you just kind of take turns being up front. I mean, that's really what it is. You don't want to burn the car up. Looks like we got 3 wide action coming up just a little bit behind kind of in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, you got that 23 of Mark Collins maybe trying to start a little something on that far outside lane. I think that's the 751 of Mike Adamson giving him a big old bump here. They're 3 wide with the 00 Joe down underneath in that middle there as well. Everybody trying to maybe start to realize, these guys are racing pretty good here tonight. Let's maybe make some moves to try and get on up there. The one of Derek Welsh sees that teammate of his coming on up. He's going to move to that far outside line. Now he ducks back down into the middle, gather that momentum back up inside that draft as they continue to race 2 wide, occasionally a little bit of 3 wide here and there.
Yeah, a long way to go. They still got 50 laps to make around this big 3-mile track.
Yeah, Hunter Smith putting some good work in up front right now too.
75% fuel. Can they make it to halfway? That sounds like it's a little too far. They may be splitting this into thirds.
Well, they did pit back on lap number 9. So we'll see how far these guys can get. I know we got some of those technical gurus hanging around in our chat, so please let us know what you think will be the pit strategy here tonight, as we got a big weeble wobble going on in the middle of the field.
Yeah, 4 wide for a split second there with 00 on top and the 4 all the way at the bottom and 2 trucks in between. Ooh, a little bobbing and weaving going on here in the middle of the pack. Don't like to see too much of that.
Ooh, 6 of Paul Durkee.
Wide.
Yeah, 6 of Paul Durkee getting a little bit of a air shove there, going to that far outside line. You also had that one of Derek Welsh and the 00 Joe Bennett out there beating and banging, battling, and action packed here in the mid pack of this field.
Yeah, it's more like it right here. Y'all get after it now.
Side by side they go, as here comes that 51. I think he's looking to make a move up the middle. Big wreck.
Big
15's got to keep it on the grass.
Still
going.
Jake Bunjo spent some time on his roof there for a minute.
So did Moore. Wow. That's going to take about an hour to dissect what happened on that one. Holy smokes.
15 was the first one I saw got out of shape and was on the grass. He tried to keep it there, had his brakes locked up, but my goodness, look at the mayhem that happened after the fact.
Ooh, and I think this one, I don't know if it started with a reaction from the 96 or maybe some netcode here. Got to go up to the chopper cam to get a good look at this one and slow it on down, as that car on that far outside line started to come down. I think the 96 saw it and just maybe overreacted just a little bit. Didn't think he was going to save it. Sending that 15 on down through the grass. And you can see just everybody scattering around here. People sliding up into each other. Oh, man. 86 getting tagged up. Oh, look at him going for a wild ride. You got got some other traffic going 3-4 wide here, getting all bunched up.
Well, was it one of those deals where don't push the pusher? I guess, you know what? The 3 just came up, didn't he? And just kind of got in the way. Ooh, man. What a chain reaction that was.
And a good chunk of traffic getting all caught and balled up into that one. The 15 losing a whole bunch of spots. Looks like Earl Evans just parked it down there on track as best as he could. I don't think Earl Evans actually hit anybody here. I think he managed to keep that truck pretty safe and just parked it down there. Saw the checkup happen. He had the 84 Bittner up there as well, as the 84 Bittner goes way down onto the apron here. Yeah, there people down there in the back of the pack. They were able to get that thing checked up just in time. As we get back to the live cam, it's going to have Zach Dillon and Tom Barish not coming down into the pits. They stayed on out. Everybody else came on in. It looks like the 23 Mark Collins did pit as well. So Zach Staten, Kevin Winker, Dustin Really all coming down from pit lane, and had a whole bunch of other... everybody came down pretty much.
Well, I mean, as you should at this point. Just get fuel. If you want tires, get them. I don't think they're necessary, but man, what was Smith doing? He came up, and I don't know if he was blocking, he lost control, got kind of knocked by Winker, but that caused a gigantic one there.
Hunter Smith saying on the radio he had a lot bigger run than what he thought. And it's just a racing incident. Stuff happens, you know, but yeah, that Dodge trying to dodge that other car that looked like it, or other truck that looked like it might have been coming down. It's what did the 15 in.
And that indeed, as these guys try to catch back on up to the field and get everything all re-racked and stacked. Let's go ahead and talk to some of these guys. How about let's talk to the 30 of Keith Miller. He's someone we really haven't talked to this season here, so I think he'd be a good one to get a hold of here. Let's part of that Go Fast Motorsports team. So we get to talking to the 30 Yellowstone machine of Keith Miller. Keith had some pretty decent, 10 or so lap runs here. Everything seems pretty calm in the early part of these runs, and looked like that caution was just kind of caused by absolute mayhem going on up at the front.
Yeah, man, it was getting a little crazy up there. I mean, three come up, tried to block. I mean, we get such a big run on the outside. You have to time it just right. And, everybody tried to check up. And, just racing incident, my opinion. But fun racing tonight. I love this place.
Yeah, when stuff gets all stacked up, this is pack racing. That's the kind of racing you're going to get with pack racing. And sometimes you just can't stop quick enough. Your reaction time just can't be there, But, hey, that's how it goes.
Yes, sir. Thanks again to all the sponsors. Thanks again for you guys. Race Control, we all appreciate you.
Awesome, man. Well, everything's getting all stacked back up here, ready to rumble. So we'll good luck, and maybe we'll see you at the end of this thing.
Yes, sir. I'm going to try.
That was the 30 of Keith Miller joining us here up in the broadcast booth as these guys get ready to go back to green flag racing in just a moment here, coming out of turns 3 and 4. That pace car, coming on down as we got Zach Dillon and Kevin Winker leading the charge here as we go back to green flag racing with about 10 laps to go before we reach that halfway point of this race. Excuse me, I got the shepherd pie burps going on. As we got two wide racing going on up at the front. Got teammates Joshua Moore and Kevin Winker working together. And then you got the 37 trying to help out that 20 on out around here in the front.
Shepherd's pie? That sounds amazing. I don't know what goes on with that, but it sounds like it's good.
Yeah, 42 machine dives on down to that bottom line after a good shove from that 51.
75 miles in. This is a 210-mile race. As the race goes on, we're going to see the aggression kind of ramp up. I think you guys talked about that earlier, but still got a little ways before that should be happening. Man, you got a truck with a huge run right up the middle there.
That's Michael
that
Adamson.
green truck. Mike
751. Yep.
Yeah, he had a heck of a run there. Just couldn't really make a whole lot out of it as most of the guys were keeping a pretty tight 2 wide there.
Yeah, but at the same time, around where he was, things were kind of getting all spread out. So he wanted to maybe bridge that gap, make sure we didn't get a secondary chase pack forming up here. As he makes use a little bit of a turbo tunnel, making his way up through that middle. And catching back on up to this field. He does have Jay Burton in that 26 Kowa camping machine working his way on up as well.
I tell you what, 76 having a pretty good race out there right now. Michael Hicks. Margie Hicks cheering for him over there on YouTube chat saying, let's go number 76. He's one of those Taylor Motor Company sponsored trucks out there tonight.
3 wide right here. Albert Anderson's kind of in the mix of it. He's riding a real high line. America's driver. He always ends up front, seems like, at these big plate tracks we'll see tonight.
Yeah, he's one who's not scared to get his knuckles a little dirty here and try to shimmy his way on up as Double O Joe Bennett with a big run on that outside line with some help from that 20 machine of Dylan trying to get that push on around these leaders of Winker and Reilly.
Derek Welch up there trying to bust into that top 5.
Oh, this is bogus time here for that one of Derek Welch, man who notoriously hates these super speedway racing, but so far this season, man, he's had some of the best results as we have some incidents going on up front.
There we go. Big.
That was a transition right there. Got him.
Oh, 75 of Skidmore flipped upside down. I thought he had it saved. Turtled.
Oh, gotta get him back on the right
Kevin
side.
Winker's truck has a lot of damage. He's dog walking it sideways down in the pit entry. I don't know if he's going to make it.
Let's go ahead and kind of watch what happened up here at the front. Looks like a bit of a drift up here. Oh, I think someone maybe clipped the apron down on that bottom line.
Well, Winker was right there. We'll have to.
Yeah, he was leading the race.
We had Winker.
Double O Joe. His truck was acting like it was bumping and bobbing all over that apron, even though he really only touched it a couple of times. And just the 42 really nowhere to go as the Double O was kind of checking on up, and that caused the chain reaction behind him here. Oh man, Josh, I think that was I don't know if that was the Double O or if that was Josh Bittner going for a wild ride. They have kind of similar paint schemes here. Oh, it was Josh Bittner going for a wild ride. Not what the birthday boy wants here tonight. He tried his best to get all checked up. Just, oh man, it's so difficult to get these things slowed on up. It's the 12 of Austin Johnson getting involved in this one as well. It's just so difficult to get these things stopped when there's a caution that happens in front of these guys that, you don't want to be left out of the draft, but at the same time, you need that extra bit of time to really try to get everything checked up.
I mean, you're going 220 miles an hour. I mean, the inertia itself is just going to lead you right into something, and gravity is going to pull them down across the track on you. So it's just one of those things. This iRacing super speedway, kind of what happens here.
As we were 3 wide coming off of the pit line here, Dustin really, just because he had that number 1 pit stall, was able to beat out both Derek Welch and Eric Stoy. Eric Stoy up a ton of spots. Same thing with that 751 of Mike Adamson. He's up 17 here. Double O Joe Bennett, he's going to be up 20. Josh Bittner pitting the lap earlier. I think he's going to have a black flag for coming down when pit roads were closed, so he's going to move back here in just a second. You also had a few movers like the 55 Tom Barish. After that incident here earlier on, he's made up a few spots. He's up there 18 spots. Gregory Turner, Little Rimmer up 19. Same thing with the 45 of Michael Grinolds, all up double-digit numbers.
Man. Been quite a bit of action so far. Nothing out of the ordinary, though, for something like this with this many trucks on the track. Just a lot of fun racing.
Yeah, it is, as everybody rides around behind the pace truck here, trying to get everything all re-racked and stacked up. Gonna have a few cars get the wave around the pace car here, get back onto that lead lap. Zach Dillon and I think the 75 Brian Skidmore are each of those guys.
75 of Skidmore involved in that wreck, and pretty heavy damage on that truck.
Oh, I was wrong.
Did have these guys do have a couple of fast repairs.
Well, you're going to need them tonight.
Yeah, they're gonna go through some tonight, I believe. A message from Ricky Whitberg says he can still hear background music.
Oh. Well, we like the background music because it just kind of goes with the program sometimes. Thank you for letting us know, Ricky. Brown can launch a space shuttle, but he don't have the hearing device to hear everything on the space shuttle.
Yeah, well, space shuttles are loud, man. Yeah, it's pretty easy to go deaf and,
Yeah, see?
go hard of hearing.
We know. We're with you. Man. Well, Florida man, he was charged with DUI. He was operating a motorized scooter inside the Walmart while being inebriated. They got him. No, you get charged with DUI doing that, but that sounds awesome.
How the heck do they do that?
Gotta say,
I don't know.
you guys never played Mario Kart while riding one of those things in Walmart? It's pretty fun. As the 37 of Dustin really gonna get this thing started here once again with the 4 of Eric Story right there behind him, the 1 of Derek Welsh beside him. As we go back to green flag racing here, about to cross that halfway point through this 70 lap battle here from iRacing Super Speedway. Had a bunch of action already, and we got a bunch of action more left in the tank. We got people making moves, making their charge here in this midway point through the race.
Pretty good restart for a lot of folks. They're starting to learn how to keep those gaps a little bit smaller on some of these restarts. Starting to crack down on folks kind of laying back, during the restarts, but pretty good job by most of the drivers there to kind of keep it tightened up.
You mean sandbagging? We got some sandbaggers?
Yeah, I don't know about that. As man, look at that 4 give a big old push to that 37. Not a lot of room to be had as these guys continue to try to keep this thing pretty clean. Here comes the 55. He might have a little bit of turbo tunnel action in his future. Oh no, he's gonna bail out, jump on back down to the bottom line as everybody tries to make their way around this treacherous 3-mile track. We got I think 3 wide going on around Kevin Winker right now. No, everything figured itself out.
Oh,
He's there with a couple of teammates right now.
a lot of movement back here with the Zach Dillon. Man, he's up and down the track trying to make some moves.
Side by side, they rumble here. Everybody trying to find that line, find that run. Here comes that 1 of Derek Welsh. He's got a pretty good helper there behind him as they continue to try to make up some ground here. That's the 751 of Mike Adamson. Oh, 3 wide up here at the front as Dustin really, man, he bobbled out of line. He did the smart thing and just kind of stayed there in the middle. That's going to trade.
26 wrecking. 84 wrecking as well. Caution's out. 26 of J.A. Burton in that KOA Go Camping truck. He got together with the 84 there eventually. I thought he was going to have that saved, but couldn't get it under control.
Oh, just gets down onto that apron a little bit, and the 20 tried to stay off of his bumper, but that sent him on around. Oh, man, and again, I think there was going to be contact there either way, but it's getting sent straight up into Josh Bittner, who then gets, I think, up into the 86 a little bit, and I think the 24 of Andrew Hansley gets bit by that bug as well. Let's watch what happens to Hansley here. Oh, trying to avoid Josh Bittner, checking up as much as he can. Not a lot of room on that outside line. But just not quite able to get everything all checked up and around there.
Well, you build it, the mayhem will ensue. I think that's what they were trying to do when they built this iRacing Super Speedway virtually. Here at, where is this thing? Massachusetts?
Yeah, the virtual Massachusetts.
Oh.
You know, those of us here up in New Hampshire want to pretend that Massachusetts doesn't exist most of the time, and that's what we get as the 4 of Eric Stoy is going to not come down and join everybody like Double O, Joe Bennett, Dustin Really, Derek Welsh, Mike Adamson. I think all these guys have been pretty smart about coming on down just about every time, making sure they get topped up on fuel and all that kind of stuff. As man, it's been it's one of those places that really green flag pit stops. You can do it. We've seen it happen, but it is to try to get 30 plus trucks down there all at the same time. It's pretty rough. Speaking of pretty rough, Cale Turbeville, he's been down there in pit road for a good chunk of time now.
Yeah, he's a bunch of laps down too. He may have some may have unchecked that fast repair or something going on there. We did see Team America do a bunch of green flag pit entry practice all together there during practice.
Well, they practice all together. Team America, they're always checking all the boxes and trying to figure out what they can do as a team to stay together. And I have a Florida man story for Team America specifically. It says, Florida man teacher removed after berating a student for not standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. So here's my problem with that. What's the problem? I mean, what do you get in trouble for? Kid's supposed to stand. Isn't that the rules?
Yeah, when I was a kid, you did what the teacher said, and you honored the flag and all that kind of stuff.
They hit you with a ruler and the knuckles. Have you ever had that happen?
No, I didn't have any nuns beating me up.
Well, that was always fun.
What?
This one wasn't even a nun. She's just a mean old lady.
I'll tell you who's not a mean old lady. That's Dubby, the proud energy sponsor over here at HCK Beagles Racing. Go ahead and order your round of Dubby here at Dubby.gg. I'm drinking my Dragonade here tonight. Wonderful taste, no chalkiness, no jitteriness, no caffeine, and no sugar. I don't know about the caffeine part, but either way, there's definitely no.
Yeah, a little bit. It's not like a monster.
No, definitely not. There's definitely no sugar in it though, so it's that, and it just tastes so dang good. I know quite a few people here. I know a lot of the Georgia guys love drinking the peach one, and a whole bunch of good flavors out there. So be sure to go and use code HCK at checkout today and get 10% off your next order. Go ahead and just get one of the samplers. I'll send you a little cup and some like tiny little single serve powder packets and whatnot, and go ahead and maybe see what kind of flavors you may like here. And I tell you what, it's some good drink, I'll tell you that.
Well, English and me, we'd probably try to mix it with something a little harder. I don't know.
Irish coffee.
You're supposed to make it with water, I'm guessing. Right? So, but, hey, whatever. Sure, there's labeling on the package tells you how to drink it.
Hey, you just check the internet. I'm sure you can find it on there. You can find anything on there.
Oh, the truth is always on the internet.
Yeah.
As we get stacked back up and ready for more two-wide racing action, green flag here at iRacing Super Speedway. Dustin really giving a big ol' shove to that 4 of Eric Stoy. He's got that 15 of Cody Staten on his outside. Double O Joe Bennett trying to give him a push, get that outside line up and running here. Also got some other traffic up there. 96 of Josh Freed riding around. The 51 or 751, excuse me, of Mike Adamson, as well as the 3 of Hunter Smith, all up in the mix here, as a little bit of a gap as these guys try to get all formed up is starting to form, but these guys will quickly close that one on up.
There's a lot of talking going on with race control and some drivers. I don't know what the discrepancy is, but I love the anger and the passion.
He's had to mute a couple of drivers' radios already.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I saw him mute a couple of guys' radios.
Oh, I like that. Take full control and banish them if you have to.
Killed Kevin Winker and Keith Miller's radio.
Ooh.
And as the 00 is 3 wide here, he's going to still have Josh Freed on that outside line helping him out here, but they are kind of stuck up against the wall. Really not a lot of help here as these guys try to get way back around. Oh, still trying to find a spot to maybe drop down, get back to 2 wide, but they're really having a problem with it.
See what Ricky wrote in the the YouTube chat?
I did. I had to approve it. It got flagged.
He said, I'll go ahead and say it. He said the Spanish teacher beat his ass with a wooden paddle in high school out in the hallway. He said, long story, but it didn't help when he said, oh, baby, hit me harder after the first time she laid into him.
Oh, Lord.
I don't imagine she appreciated that at all.
Here,
I don't know.
Here comes
That
that.
was fun.
Here comes that 1 with the 3 working together here, getting a big ol' run on the bottom line here. The 1 is going to be clear. Drift on down. The 3 tries to, but the door had shut as the 1 jumps on down, takes control of this race up at the front. 3 of Hunter Smith, man, he's going to have to try harder than that to catch back on up. He's going to be stuck out here in the middle, actually, as here comes the 751 and Mike Adamson on around him, and a big train of cars coming with him.
Yeah. America's driver's right behind him. He leaves Albert out to dry out there.
We got 3 wide, 3 deep back here in the middle of the pack. 76 and Paul Durkee in the middle. Here comes the 51, a mower. Now they're starting to check up a little bit now that they got to the back of the 751.
Albert Anderson still stuck up on that outside. He's got the 23 of Mark Collins sitting there behind him. I don't think those 2 trucks are going to be able to do it on their own, and they're going to trickle back into line here as soon as they find that opening. Derek Welsh out in front. Eric Stoy now leading that outside line right now. Oh, he's going to maybe bobble on down into the middle, and he's going to be left in the middle as the 751 of Mike Adamson moves on around him here.
Seen Hunter Smith right on the back door of that green truck in front of him. And then when they hit that transition, we saw a bunch of trucks fly up the track towards that outside wall. And here comes Adamson, the 71. He got shuffled out.
Yeah, he and the 75 both get the old Das Boot out of that lead group there on that far outside line. As they shuffle on back, there will be some openings that they can slide into. It's just going to take a while before they can actually really fit in there. Either way, that's going to give the 15 of Cody Staten down there a little reprieve on that bottom line. He's got absolutely no teammates or anywhere around him. I mean, closest guy is about 8 to 9 cars back, as Dustin Reilly and Derek Welsh working well together here right now. The 3 of Hunter Smith trying to get that top line here again, back up to the front. Man, Hunter Smith, he's had the runs. He just really hasn't had the help to really help get slid on up in the front.
The Gambler joining us, Paul Ferdiani over there on YouTube saying, let's go 00 Joe Bennett. He said, there's Mr. Super Speedway man up there leading this thing again. Talk about Derek Welch, who publicly hates these things, but I think in private, he must have a little special place in his heart for these super speedway tracks.
Yeah, he's always up front in these things, and he talks about how bad they are, how bad he is, and how much he hates it. I don't quite believe him.
That's bogus, what he was telling us.
Got a blinker.
lot of wiggling.
Yeah.
Big checkup in the field, too. Mike Adamson had to be on his toes there as he jumps up to that top line here, right behind that 30 of Keith Miller, trying to keep the speed up without losing too much time here as everybody continues to put laps down with 26 laps to go.
There's just a lot of blinking out here, and I'm trying to figure out who that is.
I think it's Rodney Griffin in the 97 there in the middle. He's been having a little of a blinking issue. I know I think it was the 15 of Cody Staten a little earlier on had some issues as well, but man, it's just one of those things. Not a lot you can do about it other than either just kind of wait it out or trickle to the back and wait it out.
Look, Paul Ferdiana would be glad to know that Michael Reynolds at 45, that Team Plus EV machine, doing a pretty good job trying to bust into the top 10 here. 45, him and the 55 right there, that NTG truck of Barish, been kind of running together last couple of laps. Sticking to that bottom line, that's where they like to be right now. Oh, the gambler pointing out that our initials of our last names put together, AAA broadcasting team, spells bet.
Oh, that's a little bit cooler.
Bet on this. We're going to have an exciting finish to this race here in about 25 laps or so.
Well, I would never even thought about that. I do like to gamble.
Oh, we got a casino appointment here in a couple of months, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
What show you guys going up there for? Is it remember you guys?
Travis Tritt.
Yeah.
Travis Tritt's coming to Choctaw.
Remember you guys were
Durant.
talking about that, trying to get a good kind of balcony seat kind of thing.
Yeah, we got a table. So
Right next to the
overlook-
bar. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right
overlooking
next to the bar.
stage.
Oh,
Been a
yeah.
fun time.
It's the looks like the 75 machine trying to maybe trickle on out. That's the 75 of Brian Skidmore. Currently 1 lap down, but he is slowly trying to get that lap back. Problem is there's so much traffic in front of him. Doing it the hard way is going to be extremely difficult here as Derek Welsh continues to put lead laps in from iRacing Super Speedway. Dustin really in tow. You got the 15 of Cody Staten right there behind him. Hunter Smith still trying to get that top line all grouped together and back up to the front. He's got the 76 and the 6 trying to help him out here.
Get old Paul Ferdiana and meet us down there
Ooh.
and teach us a little poker.
76 of Michael Hicks. Just a little too much of a bobble there, and that's going to break apart this top line group. The 3 of Hunter Smith tries to save him, just not out there in time for him to catch that draft. So the 76 of Michael Hicks, he's going to enjoy the long water slide on down through the rear end of this field.
Well, this is still the old chump to champ, champ to chump scenario. You could still be, as long as you're on the lead lap here in the draft, you got a chance at this thing still.
Our operator saying, hey, can we pay a little extra to listen to the driver's radios? Tell you what, you know, there's some entertaining stuff that happens on the radio, but not all of it's PG-13.
Yeah.
Drift. A lot of guys don't want to be heard. I think that's a lot of the consensus among many of the other drivers.
If anything good comes out and we can hear it, we'll pass it along. Especially if there's a fight, we usually call everybody out by name, who said what. So we try to help interpret some of that for you and make it PG-13.
That'd be something if one of these days, when we make it big, we could start putting together like a radioactive clip for release the next day. That'd be fun.
I thought we made it big. This isn't the crescendo of life.
No, we
right
don't
here?
have our own producer yet.
Oh, well,
The crescendo of life. Come on, man.
I can't laugh too much. I got some stitches in me. I'm trying not to laugh tonight.
Well, they're starting to catch on up to some lap traffic here, so it's going to try to stay to the outside line by the looks of it as these guys go on around. Looks like everyone able to squeeze out of there A-OK as the leaders go on around here. 20 laps now remain. It is absolute go time, and boy, oh boy, did they just get that message, as here comes the 00 Joe Bennett up on the outside on his lonesome. He's had some help there from that 13 of Earl Evans, who's essentially just trying to stay on the lead lap here.
Here they come, green flag pit stops.
Oh boy. Looks like everybody able to just get down in time for this one, as they go beating and banging still on the track. About half the field coming on in, the other half staying on out. Everybody trying to figure out what's going to be their best move here, who's going to come down with who's going to work with who, as we continue to run green flag here tonight. We got that one of Derek Welsh with the 37, Dustin really out in front.
J.A. Burton, black flag, 26.
He's going to have to work harder than a real Mrs. Poindexter to get back in this thing.
Yes, sir.
Yahtzee.
He'll be sitting on pit lane for a while. I think, is it 40 seconds they tack on?
I think it's a 40-second stop penalty there for speeding on pit road. So he's going to be there for a good chunk of time. I mean, good news for him is he's not going to have to go around the track to come back down. That's probably the one saving grace that he's got going for him right now. As you can see, all these cars that did come from the pit lane are starting to rejoin the track as these leaders are coming on around. 15 working with some teammates there up on the outside lane, trying to stay on out, maybe catch the rear end of this group's draft, to try to lose as little amount of time as possible, as Team America trying to work together here right now.
Great thing about the trucks is that they punch a big hole in the air. You can really draft from a good ways back. Probably, 0.8 of a second behind the truck in front of you. You still pick up a draft off of them and reel them in. Yeah, that would have been a lot worse for J.A. Burton if he had to serve that under green, like come back around and do a pass through or stop and go. He would have lost a lot more ground there, but let's see where they're going to score him. He's at least 2 laps down now, though.
Well, he's there now, going that another lap down behind the leaders here, so I think a couple laps down is pretty much right on the button there, Mr. English, as we now got 16 laps to go. A lot of these guys last pitted on lap 35, and that was about halfway. Can they make it halfway through this race without pitting? I don't know. I think most of these guys out in front that didn't pit with everybody else that kind of peeled off there for the green flag pit stops, they're banking on a caution coming out.
Yeah, for guys like J.A. Burton and Cale Turbeville, looks like their hopes of getting a win or getting a good finishing position are way...
Oh, as we got a wreck coming down onto pit road, the 21 goes around. He gets snagged up in the 45. Oh, man, we got a mess down here on pit road. A bunch.
That was really also.
Yeah, Dustin really getting snagged up in that as well. So a lot of drivers having that struggle down there on pit road, which we said green flag pit stops, man, if we ever saw them, they would be difficult, and that is exactly why. That transition just loosens up those trucks, and everybody goes for a wild ride there. Looked like pit road was blocked, but it's now been cleared out, so still green flag racing here with 15 laps to go.
45 kind of lucked out because he got spun.
Oh, here comes.
But he ended up facing the right direction.
Here comes another round of pit stops here. Everybody trying to get checked up before the commitment going. Oh no, there goes the one around. Derek Welsh, who was leading so many laps here, goes on around. It looks like everyone was able to trickle on by. Welsh was able to avoid heavy contact with the wall, but he is now going to have some work to do here on this pit stop. As the 23 of Mark Collins, he's in the lead of some of these guys here. It looks like Team America and the 84 Josh Bittner all working together, trying to work as a kind of a little bit of a group here to get everything all caught back on up as everyone makes their green flag pit stops. And here comes Mark Collins on down. Unfortunately for him, he's going to be all alone.
Yeah.
So he maybe missed a communication there between teams, or realized, hey, you know what, it could be a mess coming down onto pit road. I'm just going to stay out that one extra lap. So after it's all said and done, we got to wait for everybody to try to regroup here. But it looks like Mike Adamson, no immediate help right there behind him. He's going to possibly come back around and end up leading this thing. Double O Joe Bennett, he's teamed up with the 96, and it looks like the 747 of Albert Anderson all up there. But here comes Team America in the 84. Josh Bittner up with a big chunk of steam. The 12 Austin Johnson trying to make it 3 wide.
Oh, man. That was a risky move. That could have been bad.
Oh, 4 wide. Oh, man. I would say work their way around the slower moving Mike Adamson, who didn't have that draft help to get up to speed. He's going to have to try to jump onto the rear end of this group if he can. Either way, Mark Collins now is going to lose that lead, as we'll take a look from his rear view camera. And you're just going to see this mob of trucks come absolutely flying by him here. And he sees it. He's not going quite full throttle here, trying to get back up to speed, let those guys go around without too much of an issue here.
Joe Bennett not happy with the 12 on the radio after he pulled up and made that risky maneuver there. And it looks like Michael Hicks got a black flag for a pit road violation. Or, I'm sorry, the 75 of Skidmore. Sorry, Adam, I was stepping on you.
Well, I just heard all the fighting and I got excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like 88 is Zach Staten coming down into the pits for one reason or another. You also still have Dusty Smith and Cale Turbeville down there on pit road. I think that's what happened, Mr. English, with that 64 machine of Turbeville. Man, just maybe unchecked that fast repair and didn't get it checked back fast enough. And when you got to do like a full engine replacement, suspension work, you're there for a solid 40 plus minutes.
Yep, well, the Team America, per usual, got 3 of them up here in the top 5 or 6. Really looking good tonight.
Kevin Winker out in front. You got the 84 Josh Bittner, who's the last car, or the first car 1 lap down right now, racing with these guys. He's just trying to get out in front of Kevin Winker here to, if a caution comes out, to get that wave around, because I don't think they're doing lucky dogs here tonight. That's what Earl Evans had said. So I think these guys are trying to get things back the hard way. But Double O Joe Bennett, that's making it difficult for him here, as he's racing very hard side by side with that 42, getting a big run from that 15 of Cody Staten, getting a push out in front. Will the Double O drop down in front of Winker here? Not quite. Oh man, that was close. The 15 and the 51 could have went around on that outside line as the Double O drifted on down, but they decided to check up a little bit here, give him a little bit of a benefit of the doubt, as we're now getting to single digits left to go here. 9 laps once we recross that line.
Albert Anderson tried to make a move there, ended up getting stranded on the outside line. He's going to fall back and lose a bunch of spots. Oh, Bittner got loose and ended up going down. Was he pitting on purpose there?
No, I think he just snagged that apron, and he did the smart thing that he could possibly do, and that was come on down into pit lane rather than try to rejoin the track. Thankfully, it looks like he was able to at least get it checked up enough so he wouldn't get a speeding penalty down there on pit road. But we got Cody Staten, Joshua Moore, and Kevin Winker, 1, 2, and 3 on this bottom line. Looks like they are trying to just kind of drift around the track, find out where the speed is, try to keep those wheels as straight as possible. as they really don't have a charge coming up from the outside right now.
Corbin Rogers joining us over there on YouTube saying, let's go Hunter Smith. He's having a pretty good run right now, running up there with these front runners. Pete McGowan said, let's go 84. So he's got a tall mountain to climb. And somebody else whose name I can't see on there says, nice pace number 2.
And going incognito. Oh, as the 51 goes blinking about here in the middle. Oh, goodness gracious. I think that might be one of the benefits having teammates. You know, if you're with some teammates here and you blink, you can at least communicate about what you're doing and where you're at. As the 3 of Hunter Smith gets that big run on the outside line. Big push from that 00 Joe Machine to sneak on out in front and take the lead of this race.
He took total advantage of that little issue that Team America had, and good for him. Nice move by the number 3, Hunter Smith.
Yeah, when the 51 disappeared, the 15 disappeared, the 51 started to catch up some. No, I was right the first time. When the 51 disappeared, the gap started to close there, and when he reappeared, we almost had a catastrophic wreck there. Golly, I'm getting confused with all the American flags and all the patriotism out there on the inside line.
Yeah, I'm the one that should be confused. I'm on medicine and Budweiser. Kind of slowing me down tonight.
It's
I don't know.
breakfast
if you
of
can tell.
champions.
Yeah, I just don't have it in me tonight. I'm not my normal self. It's a little different tonight, but still having fun watching this race.
And 51 of Joshua Moore moseys his way on out to that outside lane, out in front of that 00 Joe Machine. He's still got some help from that 4 of Eric Stoy out there, as well as, I believe that's Mike Adamson on that far outside lane trying to...
Justin really in 37, his green truck up by the wall.
That's who it was. Out there.
Another green truck.
Another green truck. Oh, as the 51 gets a little loose from a push from the 00 Joe Machine. He ends up, thankfully, finding a spot down low as Team America once again groups back on in front of that 3 of Hunter Smith. So definitely a chess and checkers game all at the same time, working its way on out here up at the front.
Beverly Ratt joining us over there on YouTube as well, pulling for Joshua Moore. He can keep his internet connection healthy. He's got a real big shot at winning this race as well.
It's anybody's chance now.
And here comes some more lap traffic coming up into the windshield of these guys. Got the 30 of Keith Miller, and I think it's the 24 of Andrew Hansley as well. About to go one lap down as the 4. Oh, that was almost very dangerous given a push. The bumpers weren't quite lined up there. I thought the 00 was going to be going on around, but able to back out of it just in time was that 4 of Eric Stoy.
Well, these lap trucks, what they're trying to do, they're trying to get down there and maybe get in the draft of this pack of lead lap cars to kind of stop the bleeding a little bit, you know, and maybe try to make some decent lap times out here.
I don't know, but the angry driver of the race, I think, is 00 Joe Bennett, man. I've heard him a little bit of anger tonight. I'd like to hear that out there on the radio.
And we got...
He was definitely trying to direct those lap trucks where to go. Sorry, Brent.
We got 9 trucks in this massive wad of cars that are in it for a chance to win it right now. No, there's more than 9 trucks in this lead pack, but 9 cars scored on the lead lap. And then you've got about 17 seconds on back to where Derek Welsh, Gregory Turner, Tom Barish, and Rodney Griffin are. So those guys are hoping for a late caution here with 3 laps left remaining.
This race has flown by, boys. I don't know about y'all, but this 210 miles has gone by real quick, even with the cautions we've had.
But the cautions that we have had, we've had, 10 lap runs just about in between each and every single one of them. So they've put in...
Turbo tunnel. Ooh, door shut on him. Justin really trying to use that turbo tunnel there. And the 13 of Earl Evans kind of come down. Oh, there we go.
There's your wreck.
Oh, Oh, going on down into pit lane, and that's going to bring out the caution here as everyone goes for a wild ride. Albert Anderson was looking so good out there. America's driver, he gets snagged up in it as well. But we knew when this thing got down to it in the lap count numbers, things were going to happen. And boy, did they ever. As you said, trying to make use of that turbo tunnel, just not quite enough room. Oh, man, and people just got a little squirrely there, and quarter panels got hooked.
Yeah, there just wasn't room for that right there, and
Ooh,
there you see the result out of it. But we will have 3 possible attempts at a green-white checker finish tonight, and this is going to be our first official shot at one as these guys get re-racked here in another lap or two.
Yeah, was that Earl Evans heading in there like a hurricane? Kind of started that whole reaction there.
Well, it was the 37 was trying to kind of nose his way through there, and Earl, I don't know if he was having trouble holding the line or if he was trying to tell him, hey, there's not room here for you. And they got together.
Sure did.
Man, Turner, I got to play golf on Monday, and it's going to be 58 degrees as a high.
Oh, Lord, man. Well, that's when you bring out the hot toddies. You don't need cold beer as much as
That's right.
like a Irish coffee or something out there. You'll survive. Just don't jam yourself. You hurt your hands.
Albert Anderson, he's going to lead the way down onto pit lane as he had some damage. Thankfully, he's going to be able to stay on the lead lap. His truck not getting so badly hurt that he had to tow or anything. Able to just kind of drive on out of it. We're going to have Cody Staten, Double O, Joe Bennett, Kevin Winker, Eric Stoy, Joshua Moore, Mark Collins, Hunter Smith, all up in there. Same thing with that 69 of Little Rimmer, Gregor Turner. He was a part of that chase pack group that really needed a caution to group everybody back on up here. Same thing with Tom Barish, Austin Johnson, Zach Dillon, Brian Skidmore, Keith Miller. All those guys needed that caution to come on out.
Yeah, Earl Evans did get the EOL there as the cause of that accident, so he'll be starting in the back of the pack.
Well, I don't know if he might not even have seen what was going on there. He really was just snuck up in there, kind of in a middle turbo tunnel, like y'all are saying. Really hard to see at 220 miles an hour in your rear view. And probably spotter wasn't working correctly.
And so,
Well, what do you guys think, man? We're going to get any more of these cautions, or you think we're through with them?
I'll defer to the man who knows more about this than I do, and that's Mr. Turner down there on pit road.
Well, like I said, I've been prescribed medicine tonight, so I'm going to defer to the deferrer.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's 3 miles, so it's double the size almost of, your mile and a half. I mean, obviously, because I'm doing Louisiana math. There's a rally train.
Well, I still need to get that rally train little thing going on the broadcast. Got to still transfer that one over. But talking about rally trains, 55 of Tom Barish, your rally train driver of the day. Not necessarily the guy who's made up the most spots, but talk about having to rally. Goes, I think, a lap down, gets the lap back, and everything from the first caution that we saw. He's now back up in here inside this top 10. He's going to be in it with a chance to win it.
Yeah, the guy that's made the most positions up so far, Double O Joe Bennett, up 25 spots. He'll be starting on the outside row here when we go back green.
So,
I see him being real aggressive here.
Just a reminder to everybody that we will be picking 2 more names to enter that drawing here tonight, and then we will be doing the drawing here as well tonight, as this is the end of the month. to get yourself some HCK Beagles Racing swag. So be sure to keep those comments coming. We haven't made our decision quite yet. We have until that checker flag, so go ahead and let those comments fly, as well as just a reminder on the rules here for a green-white checker flag. Once when the leaders pass that start-finish line for the white flag, no more cautions will happen, and it will end on that lap. And on that note, as the pace car makes its way on down through turns 3 and 4 and dives on into the pit road, it's time to buckle up, strap on that drinking helmet, and throw inhibition out the window. It is green, white, checker racing time here from iRacing Super Speedway. Away they go, rumbling and bumbling down that front straightaway. The 00 gets a good start. Same with that 15. The 00, absolutely no help behind him. He's got to wait until that 3 of Hunter Smith closes up that gap to really get around. So he's going to lose a few spots here as they make their way down into turns 1 and 2. Oh, man, and it's just
we go.
Getting taken 3 wide back here. That 3 of Hunter Smith, he's looking to try to slice and dice his way up through. Here comes the 4 of Eric Stoy. He's got some help there from the 23 of Mark Collins, giving him a big old push up here at the front as the 3 drifts on back towards the tail end of this lead little kind of jumble of trucks. You still have Cody Staten and Kevin Winker working well together up at the front, coming down the front straightaway. And, oh, here comes the 69 out of nowhere. Disappeared there for a second, but reappears just in time to take that white flag. Oh, as we're going to be having an incident behind him. Oh, no, that was, I think, Mike Adamson getting snagged up in that one. That's going to cut this field down by a little bit of a margin here. Still up at the front, though, is that 15 of Cody Staten with the 42 of Winker. Here comes Little Rimmer Gregory Turner trying to fight his way on through this mass of trucks, heading on down into turns 3 and 4. More wrecks happening down there on the back straightaway here as the 4 of Eric Stoy with that big push from the 23 of Mark Collins trying to inch his way on forward. No draft help. He's being left out way to dry as here comes Mark Collins on that far outside line, wrecking in front of him. That's going to block the track. Crossing the line with the wreck, it's going to be Kevin Winker flipping and flying with Gregory Turner finishing in second and Albert Anderson in third.
Incredible finish. Trucks upside down in the fence.
I was watching Albert. I don't know how he ended up third. He got collected. Well, that was just amazing. What an ending to that thing.
As we let's slow down the replay as they're coming down this front straightaway here. It looked like Mark Collins on that far outside line, the run that he was getting, he had a chance, but the 15 just getting turned up into him there as the 42 gets bumper hooked by the 69. He gets octopus grabbed and flown up into the air. Goodness night. As I need to take a look here at the line. Oh, by a nose, Albert Anderson ends up crossing the line here. Let's swing this camera on around.
Well, I got him confused with 00 Joe. 00 Joe was the one that got collected, and Albert had a clean run at it there.
So you can see here, due to the connection issues, the 69 and the 42 merge as one, but the 42 with just the nose out in front crosses the line right before Gregory Turner here, and the drag race to the line between Albert Anderson and the 4 of Eric Stoy. As you can see, Mark Collins in the 15 and the 00 and the 20 all getting knotted up in a giant wreck as well. You can see there the 1 of Derek Welsh with a solid finish there as well, as the 3 of Hunter Smith able to try to avoid the shenanigans. But Albert Anderson, by the nose, sneaks his way onto the podium here.
Not surprising for him. We see him, he loves this plate track stuff. Good job. Heck of an ending to this thing. And it looks like Winker and Turner may be married at this point after the ending on that one. Make a funny? Oh, finally. Got you to laugh. Oh, and then did you see Winker fly after that thing?
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty good.
What in the heck?
That inside pit wall, man, it just absolutely catapulted him up and over that wall there and onto pit lane. So he's not able to do his victory laps as Albert Anderson slows that truck down to a stop. Well, before we get into the interviews, Mr. English, I think we have some announcements to be made.
Yes, sir. Yes, so our fans of the race tonight and rounding out your fans for the month are Peyton McGowan and Joel Moore. And we picked Joel Moore because he is always on here supporting Joshua Moore every time. He doesn't have the most comments or anything, but I tell you what, there's a lot of support in that family for Josh. So Joel Moore and Peyton McGowan, you're fans of the race this week. And just as a reminder, we were off for Labor Day week. So the month of September, we only have 6 people in contention for that merchandise giveaway for the fan of the race.
Just 6?
Yep, got 6. We had Atlanta, Talladega, and iRacing Super Speedway this month. Remember Labor Day week, they were off.
Oh, alrighty then. So here we go. I believe you have assigned a number to each and every single one of them. So we shall click this generate button 3 times, and that will be the lucky fan of the month. So here we go, and that'll be lucky number 1.
That's Rebecca Smith. Rebecca Smith, you are the fan of the month. Get a hold of HCK Beagles Racing League on their Facebook page to claim your fan of the month prize. Once again, Rebecca Smith. Oh, the Smith family is always on there supporting Hunter. So very cool that Rebecca Smith picks up the fan of the month award this month. Thank you so much for watching.
Yes, indeed. As we now got everybody down there in the Podium Finisher channel. So let's get these interviews underway. And let's start this one off with the Boeing 747 of Mr. Albert Anderson coming across the line in 3rd place here tonight. Albert, I think your best finish here this season so far. And man, oh man, talk about a heck of a wild ride and a crazy green-white checker finish here tonight.
Yeah, guys, it was crazy. I kind of hung around in the back and kind of waited to see how everything would play out, you know. And about 20 to go, I said, hey, you know what, it's time to go racing. And I was in a pretty good position coming out of 4 there. I knew it was going to be chaotic. And then, you know, of course, all heck broke loose as we crossed the start-finish line. But, yeah, happy to be here, man. It's good to be back on the podium, you know.
Well, this is just an unpredictable track, man. It looks like a lot of the guys given enough room to avoid some netcode situations, because we usually see a whole bunch of that here, especially with the trucks. But it looks like we didn't see as much of it tonight, and we actually got some pretty good racing in. Is that kind of what you saw out there?
Yeah, I saw the same thing, Alan. There wasn't a lot of netcode tonight, and that's a good thing because it gives people a chance to race, you know. And this track is notorious for a ton of netcode. So, you know, it was a good night. You know, I got a chance to race. I didn't get wrecked out of the race for a change. That's real nice. And, you know, it was a good overall night. I really can't complain. It was a good point tonight for me as well.
Yeah, you got the points, podium finish, America's driver. What's the deal with the number change, Albert?
Oh, my goodness. Is that the voice of Mr. Adam Turner I'm hearing?
I'm back, and I'm a little
The
drugged up.
stranger.
I'm playing through pain tonight. I'm with you.
Adam, it's good to hear your voice, buddy.
Yes, sir.
So the number change, you know, I'm going into a new season with 2 other leagues, and I just want to get some of that bad mojo off of being a magnet and being caught up in every wreck. So I had to pick a number between Tim Pope and Jeremiah Burke, and I plugged it into the old Google machine, and it gave me 747. And I said, you know what, that's a cool number, and this is my first race with the 747, so hopefully it sticks and I can continue to have some success with it.
Well, man,
working so far. Awesome.
Absolutely. And Albert, man, it's been a good while, and I know you got some shout outs to get out there, so go ahead and go for it, brother.
Thank you, Alan. Yeah, I'll make it real quick. Just first of all, shout out to Greg Turner, HCK Beagles. This whole league is a really good league. I thoroughly enjoy racing here. The admins, race control, they all do a good job. To the sponsors of this race, thank you for sponsoring the race. And my team, Team Limitless over here at HCK, is Mike Adamson and Josh Bittner. So thank them, and thank my family and friends and everybody who comes out to watch me week after week. It makes it so much more fun when I have fans up there. And last but not least, thank you guys for what you do. I love it when I can watch the replay and hear you guys talking about the race. You guys do a bang-up job. Thank you.
Awesome, and thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Albert, and congratulations on the podium P3 finish here tonight. Good luck the rest of the season here, buddy. Hopefully we get to talk to you again soon.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
And as we move on up this leaderboard of interviews, let's talk to that 69 machine, the man behind everything. It's going to be Mr. Gregory Turner, who, mentioned by our Mr. Turner, apparently got married with Kevin Winker here at the end of this race.
Man, I'm telling you, that finish right there, I mean, I don't think you could have got any closer right there. I mean, I was literally inside of him.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's why y'all are now married.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
good to see you back in the podium. What went right for you tonight? I mean, this was a wild one, of course. This track just brings out all the craziness. But what went right? What made it happen for you?
Honestly, I didn't think it was that bad of a race. I think we had a few incidents, especially right there together, and then we made it through the green flag pit stops right there at the end. But I mean, I just ended up somehow not getting involved in the cautions all night. I finished the race. I still had both my fast repairs. I'm probably more proud of that than I am the second place finish. But I thought I was going to edge Kevin out there coming off a 4 on the inside, and we got together, and I guess I just got him right in the right spot to keep him in front of me. Pushed us both down the track, but one heck of a finish right there.
Well, next week is a whole different animal. Y'all going back home to Michigan. Y'all run a bunch of racing there. We've seen so much racing at Michigan that has been just bang up entertainment, man. It's just a great racing track. What's your strategies going into Michigan? Are y'all running the reduced horsepower setup like you are here? Or is that just something y'all... Okay.
No, we run the reduced power setup at every track. I think it just kind of helps keep the fields a little bit bunched up. Just a little bit more. 5% power takes off, 1 or 2 mile an hour here at the super speedways. And I think that makes a huge, huge difference as far as, driving capabilities, handling of the trucks and whatever. I hope next week, based off the new, accident rule that we got in place, this is second week now. I hope that, there's going to be a lot of green flag hard racing next week. And so ultimately, that race should come down to tire management and fuel mileage. So all about strategy next week is my hope.
Well, man, this is the first time in a long time that you've been up here on that podium. Up 27 spots, your hard charger of the day. Man, oh man, how about some shout outs here?
Oh man, I mean, first off, I got to give a shout out to the whole league itself. I mean, as the owner, as the admin, it's at times it's been a struggle, but it's really been a blast overall to watch how this league has grown and how great of a group of guys that we have in the league. Like I said, I know we started off this season in a kind of a rough patch, but we developed a whole new rule system, and it took a lot of adjusting. finding out where we needed to make small tweaks here and there to make the racing a lot better. And I think overall for the last 2 weeks, I think we've managed to accomplish that. And I mean, this was our 8th race of the season out of 20, so we got a long way to go, and a lot of fun left to be had. So I want to give a shout out to them. As always, my HCK teammates, Austin, Kale. Brandon wasn't able to be here with us tonight. He's prepping for the Hurricane Ian coming into Florida there. So, prayers for all of them and everybody involved in that. Other than that, man, I'm just excited to be up here.
Awesome, man. Well, congratulations on the 2nd place finish here tonight, and we look forward to seeing what you can do the rest of the season here, buddy.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
And moving up the line, we got the one and only Kevin Winker, one of the OGs here, driving that 42 machine around, picking up the win by a inside nose. Man, Kevin, it was a wild, bumpy ride so far this season for you, not getting some of the good finishes we normally see, but picking up the win here tonight, and man, oh man, it must feel pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. I kind of feel bad for Cody though. I was gonna stick to him there and push him to the win, and then just kind of pushing the pusher issue, last lap type deal, and got off square there, and I turned him, and I feel bad. I was gonna stick with him, so just want to say sorry to him there. Nothing really I could do there.
Well, besides the little hiccups we saw during the race, Team America sticking together. We saw you guys practicing together, doing practicing green flag pit entry, even 2 wide pit entry under green flag conditions and stuff. You guys obviously were prepared, and I see week in, week out at plate tracks how you guys like to control the lines and make it work out for you for the better. Did y'all come in with the same kind of strategy y'all have week to week and just decide we're going to stick with what works and, figure out the pit stops as we go, according to Yellows?
Yeah, that was the plan. Josh was, I guess, trying to be funny. He didn't want to get the pole award this week, so he didn't qualify and start in the back, but he made his way up there quick. And then, we got up there, kind of controlled both lines. And then, we practice pit stops every week for practice. That's probably our biggest thing, because especially at this track with that transition, it's so hard to get down to speed and then keep the truck straight under green. So we practiced that a lot during practice, and it obviously paid off tonight because we did at least one correct, so that's good.
Yeah, what an awesome ending for Team America. You basically pulled a Ricky Bobby. Ended up about 50 feet in the air. You blew your engine probably up there in the sky. What an ending. What was that like? Those final seconds there.
Well, I'm just glad I didn't have VR. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, I mean, I didn't know I won. I thought I finished 5th or 6th, and then as I was spinning, my motor blew up, and I was like, well, can you do a burnout now? And then landed on my roof on pit road. I said, well, I guess this end of that, but I'll take a win anyway and get it.
It was 9,000ths of a second difference between you and Gregory Turner, and hey, that might as well be a mile here at iRacing Super Speedway. We saw the same kind of thing last week at a plate track, and 9,000ths of a second. It might as well be half a mile out there. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Well, Kevin, as they've all been saying, man, a heck of a job racing out there tonight. Saw you up at the front a good chunk of the margin of the time, and it's been a long time coming this season for you. Before we let you go, you got any shout-outs or anything like that?
Yeah, first want to give a shout-out to Muehlberger Custom Homes for sponsoring our team, sponsoring Josh and I. Big supporter of him, so hopefully made him proud. I know I won a race last night in my other league, so went 2 for 2. Shout out to my teammates. Like I said, we worked fantastic together. Zach kind of had a lot of issues tonight. I don't know. Must have got caught up in some wrecks, but Josh then had some computer issues towards the end of the race. So it was down to Cody and I. And like I said, I was going to push him to the win, but it just didn't work that way. But shout out to them. Shout out to admins, Greg, all the guys that put this on. It's a Great league. Shout out to you guys in the booth as always, and we'll go see what we can do at Michigan next week.
Awesome, man. Well, we look forward to it. Cannot wait for that race in action to come to us here next week. But until then, man, we'll let you go. And good job here tonight.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
And that brings all of that to the close. Kevin Winker, of course, one of those guys joining us here on the face cams. And saw his setup. He's got the party lights going on now. And boys, that was iRacing Super Speedway, and it was a quick one. We saw some cautions, but again, they were spaced out just enough that I think everything was A-okay here tonight.
I got so excited and everything, I broke my chair. The back of my chair won't stay up. When I try to lean back, it just keeps going. The little lock broke. But no, man, for sure. Edge of my seat action tonight, despite my broken chair. But this is what we expected here. This is what we expected, the kind of finish we thought we'd see. Green, white checker, they only had to use one of them. 9,000ths of a second. The one we saw last week was 1,000th of a second. And, that's what happens here at these big plate tracks. You see wrecks at the end, and you just hope to be in the right place at the right time when you cross that start-finish line. So great job by not just the podium finishers, but the guys that finished, in the top 10. I mean, this is a competitive league, and you had the top 9 drivers finished within 0.3 of a second of each other at the end. So from Kevin Winker to Mark Collins, 0.3 of a second. Just an amazing finish.
Yeah, great league. I love seeing the high truck counts. It makes for a lot of fun, and we saw that tonight. Looking forward to Michigan for sure. I'll have my tips and pointers out for these guys next week.
And so it sounds like Mr. Turner is starting to get a little tired here, so let's go ahead and tell everybody where their favorite driver finished here tonight. And that starts us off with that 42 of Kevin Winker, winning this race with the 69 of Gregory Turner just inside of him here. Up 27 spots, and your hard charger of the day finishing in second. The 747 of Albert Anderson moves on up into third, with the 4 of Eric Stoy just coming up shy. I thought he was going to have a run at it here. He's going to finish in fourth. The 3 of Hunter Smith was beating and banging and bobbing around those final few laps. He finishes solidly up in that top 5, and the one machine had a absolutely bogus race, still finishing up there in 6th, up 5 spots. So great job there from Derek Welsh. The 15 of Cody Staten just getting into it a little bit there at the end, finishes here in 7th. The 23 of Mark Collins looked like he was going to have a run for the win here tonight. He's going to finish here in 8th. The 00 machine of Joe Bennett up 18 spots. Finishes inside that top 10 in 9th. With the 96 of Josh Freed, he rounds out tonight's top 10.
Yeah, Mark Tony over there on YouTube says, man, the 23 got robbed. Hey, that's what happens at plate tracks. Anything can happen there. Yeah, 97 of Rodney Griffin finished in 11th. 12th place, 55 of Tom Barish. 75 of Brian Skidmore finished in 13th place. The first truck 1 lap down here. The second truck 1 lap down. The 30 of Keith Miller. Paul Durkee will finish right behind him. The 20 of Zach Dillon will finish 16th. He dropped quite a few spots tonight. Old Zach, that's not where he wanted to end up. Talking about places you don't want to end up, Jake Bunjo in the 86. We saw him on his roof earlier tonight, that first caution. He'll finish about where he started right there in 17th place. Andrew Hansley, the 4th in the 24 machine, will finish there in 18th place. 19th will be the 45 of Michael Reynolds. And rounding out your top 20 here, the 751 of Mike Adamson.
Yeah, 28, Kenneth Stocks ended up 21st. 13th, Earl Evans in the 22nd place. Shout out to him. Hopefully he's going to survive this storm. It's going to be a rough one. Hang in there, Earl. 51, Joshua Moore ended up 23rd. 37, Dustin Reilly, 24th. 84, birthday boy Josh Bittner, 25th. 76, Michael Hicks ended up 26th. 26 of J.A. Burton ended up 27th. The 12 of Austin Johnson ended up 28th. 88, Zachary Staten Boys ended up 29th. The 21, Dusty Smith ended up 30th. 64, Cale Turbeville 31st, and looks like Matthew Jones didn't even grid, so that's it.
And that is your field here for tonight. As always, we got to thank each and every single one of you viewers for coming on out. Thank you guys, as you're the reason why we do this. Otherwise, this would just be boring watching people go around in circles here all night. You guys make it the fun that it is, so thank you guys so much. As well as the great sponsors, like tonight's race sponsor of Tucked Away there at that Wiley Hotel. I think it's down there near Atlanta. Mrs.P's, go ahead and check them out for some great food, as well as Davidson Builders, jumping on board all season long, your premier of remodeling and construction there in northern New Jersey, as well as AdminBoxx, the best, some of the best button boxes a race admin could have. Be sure to order yours here today. We also had Track Dogs Racing. We didn't do any Crank It Up cam here tonight, but they're the proud sponsor of the Crank It Up cam, as well as Dubby. Be sure to order your Dubby at dubby.gg, as you can use code HCK at checkout for that 10% off, and get yourself some good quality jitterlessness and sugar-free energy from Dubby. Absolutely fantastic. So be sure to do that and support these guys that put on some great racing opportunities for everybody here tonight. Tomorrow night we have the opening race for Vigilante Racing League over there at Daytona. They have, I believe, an official 47 car field there. I should say truck, because they're going back to the trucks. So we're gonna see a lot of people out there racing hard and getting that season out underway. Stage racing, so we're gonna have some breaks in the action to talk to some drivers and whatnot. So be sure to tune into that one, as that season looks like it's gonna be kicked off well. Same thing with Sunday night. We'll be coming live with our Numb Thumbs Racing League. I think is it the ARCA or is it the Xfinity there, Mr. English? I think it's the ARCA.
Well, we're doing both. One's going to be Friday night, one's going to be Sunday night. I think the, well, don't get me lying. One's on one night, one's on the other. Friday and Sunday.
Yeah, as a whole bunch of racing action left to come for you guys, and this is going to start our busy schedule. We're going to be live 5 nights a week, so be sure to hit that subscribe and ring that notification bell so you get alerted every single time we have a race up and running, so you guys don't miss a bit of the action. But until tomorrow night, I'm Alan Brown for Alan English and Adam Turner. We're signing off.
I want to thank once again Michael Newton for being race control tonight. It's not an easy job, and you help some folks out, and you also piss some people off. So thanks, Mike, for putting up with all that and doing race control tonight. The guys really do appreciate it. And with that, I'm gone.
See ya.